I told Jane that I would
Good job.
record it with my, I guess I could have been doing that instead of talking. Where's the voice? Not that you know where it is on the phone, but where is it?
You have all kinds of things now.
Right up to me.
Well,
Oh, yes.
little bit.
There's the voice recording, stupid thing in here.
Can you just search for
I
it?
have to do a search.
Yeah, but I can't even remember what it's called.
Voice recorder.
Maybe?
Voice memos?
And probably. What is the icon of it?
Mine's a microphone. It's like an app though.
Mine is too. Oh my gosh, why didn't I do this when I was giving you?
Don't ask me.
That's what mine is.
Oh, seriously?
Should we do a song and dance for the YouTube live?
Seriously,
I'm good at
this is dumb.
Stand up and give us a little something.
My gosh, I use mine too and I can't find it. Where is it? Duh. Nobody else can find it on theirs?
I found voice memo. I don't know
Where's-
if that's, I just
where's
searched
the-
for it. I don't know.
On your app?
Right there is what it looks like.
That's exactly what it looks like on mine. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Just scroll to the left.
Apps.
There you go. Just search.
It was called
Just
voice
do a
memo?
search, yeah.
Should use our keys. Tell you what, it's been a long day. Voice memos. Oh, ba-da-da. Open. It was under utilities. That seems like.
Sure, that makes
There you
sense.
go.
Continue and. Okay, I don't know why it says bear barbell, but we'll go with that.
We're rolling.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:05-ish?
Yep.
I'll do the call to order. I'm Dan Nivell.
Here.
Don Bodner here. Eric Dillon.
Here.
We did Chandelier.
Yeah.
Eric Delamere. Okay. Sue Fisher, not here. Chris?
Here.
Matt?
Here.
Trudy? Here. Tyler's not here, and Lori's not here. Okay, everybody has a copy of the agenda. This is the same agenda that we've had for the last 3 months since we haven't met. So I did add women's club banners on here. I think Jane Baker might be.
It's me.
Okay.
Jane's gone.
Yep,
left
she said
the
she was
phone.
going to Florida, I think.
Yeah, so I'm Jane.
Okay, you're Jane, perfect. Well, we have you on the agenda under new business. Is there anything else that we need to edit or change or add?
Nope.
Okay, somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda?
And I vote.
Second.
Matt Whitener, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, then we have the motion to approve the November meeting minutes, which was a long, a really long time ago. Oh my gosh, and I wasn't even here for that one, so I haven't seen you guys in forever.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I don't have the financial report. Sue has it, but she had surgery today. I think she said, she did tell me that they have everything under control.
Yes.
So do you have any, did she give you anything?
She did not, and I didn't think to ask her about it. We were just
Okay.
thinking.
Okay, no, and she said that there was nothing to worry about, all the bills that,
Yeah. Yeah,
We
the only
have-
bills that we had were for Marty's signs.
Right.
We
Oh, she
got
paid
those
those.
and she's, yeah, because we didn't have to have an okay on that.
because we had already.
And those are in storage and Doug and I
Oh,
talked
we
with
have
them. We have them,
Oh, okay, good.
yeah, and they'll be
Those were
put
the
up in the
wayfinding
spring.
signs, right?
Wayfinding and the new pads for the,
Oh, for the corners,
yeah,
The
for
rough
the,
mat things,
yeah,
yes.
Visual.
Braille kind of stuff.
yes, yeah, the bumpy
You know.
red.
The
Yeah.
footprint.
Those are there and the extra road sign posts. Of course, the
Okay, because
signs
we had
aren't,
some extras,
yeah,
right?
there's no signs because we don't know what,
Okay,
hopefully
where
we
does-
never have to use them.
Where does Doug have those stored? Do you
Those
know?
are stored at,
Are they in that little
no, they're up at
Corporation Park?
Corporation Park in the storage buildings there.
Okay, cool. All right, so Sue will give us a full report next month. Okay, moving on to new business, women's club banners. Photo form.
Do I need to stand up or am I good?
You do not. You can,
Do it?
we're pretty easy breezy.
Okay, I'm Gail Hall. I'm on the board of the Indian River Women's Club. And we're concerned about tune time and the banners. Last year, Tune Time said that they would take their banners down, put ours back up, and they did not do that, so Doug had to do it.
Right.
On top of that, we're finding that the more they're taken off and put on, the more they're coming apart. So now we're having to fix the summer, spring ones with grommets that are gonna cost us about $250 to $300 more. We just had those done, but Jane and the board and the Women's Club in general, we spent a lot of money on those banners to have them up.
Right.
And we've done this together, we've talked to y'all, and so we just feel that to go ahead and take them down and put them back up for someone that's coming in for the weekend is just not, we don't really want that to happen. So we
And
just wanted to voice our opinions on that. Obviously, it's your decision.
Yeah,
but-
we had discussed it last year
We were,
when we let him put those up
yeah,
that time,
we
that
said
it
it
would be
was
on a,
contingency that it worked,
right.
and obviously it didn't work.
And one of our concerns with that, and he did say, I'd be happy, the very next, next day I'll come and I'll put everything, take ours down, put yours back up, it'll be great. But another concern that we had last year was every event that happens in town, if somebody says, we want to put a
Yes.
banner up,
Right.
then we might be, if we agree to that and to do it with everything, then the banners might be going up and down like every week.
Right. I mean, to me, if they're gonna put a banner out front on something that you stick in a lawn sign or something like that, that's up to you. But those banners go up, and it's not like it's that easy to take them down and put them up. And Doug has to take all that time to do that.
Right.
And it's
I
just
didn't think his banners were all that noticeable either, did you?
When they were up last year?
No,
It didn't,
the summer ones.
no,
No,
not the
no,
Wednesday
the
ones, the
Tuesday
two-time
ones.
ones.
I took a, because I'm walking, I actually looked at them. You could see them, but
Yeah, but-
they
I don't
weren't
even
real
know
obvious.
how many he had up. or
They
if
were
he had-
every other pole.
It just seems to be a bit of an overkill for
Yeah.
a one-time thing that's coming in. And
It's,
we love that he's coming in and bringing business and all that stuff, but it's not for our community.
has he approached the board about
so
doing that again this year?
he hasn't, he
He
hasn't come to us.
No,
Oh, I understood he was supposed to be at the meeting last month,
we didn't have
and
any.
then we
we-
didn't have it.
Right, because it was canceled.
That was my understanding. I know he asked about it at our parks meeting, and we said that is not underneath our
Right.
scope.
And he
He had
hasn't
to
reached
talk
out
with
to me
you.
at all.
So
Because
maybe
last
he's
year-
decided not to, I don't know, but we definitely,
And last
you know,
year he
and Doug
reached out
was
to
pretty
me.
upset that he had to go ahead and go back and put them up again.
Right.
Because that's a busy time for him. June is crazy busy for him with the ballparks and everything else.
I think every was always
Well,
busy.
the way I feel about it is didn't work the way it was supposed to, so.
Yeah, and Doug he wasn't real.
Could he do like a banner, at the entrance town across like?
Well, like most
there
people
and-
do, even when we
Yeah.
do Winterfest or Summerfest, you put a banner out or you put a sign out.
Well,
you
we
know,
definitely
that's-
don't want to piss off the women's club because they do so much.
Well, you're not gonna do that. It's just kind of we did it once and it
Yeah.
just,
It didn't work, so
yeah, and we work we work together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that we just do things, or we all work together in the township. And,
Right.
obviously that's our opinion, but if you choose to do something else, then
And
that's your
last year,
choice.
he approached me specifically and, came and said, I really want to do this. And I said, well, would you like to come to our meeting? And he came and gave us his spiel
Yeah.
and everything. And it was good. And I know that they did have those, which I don't know how expensive they are, but they had those big,
Stand-up ones.
yeah, they're like really tall with the flag kind of things on them. And he could put those up in town if he had those around.
And the other thing this year is that weekend is actually the beginning weekend of July 4th week.
Right.
It falls really funny. As we look through the years to like 2030, it never happens that way again. But it is
The weekend
during
before
4th of July week.
Right.
So
No,
anyway,
Is that booked? Does he already have a park?
it's booked, we've okayed it, and he will be in Marina Park. Same way he was last year.
And that's the weekend, is it like the 28th?
Yes, yeah, and it just happened, it's supposedly always the third weekend of June, but then the way everything fell this year, and it wasn't really the best weekend to do it.
yeah. And I don't think we really need to make tweaks.
We don't have,
Because he's the.
he hasn't approached
Well, if
us,
he
so-
hasn't approached you, we were under this understanding that he was gonna come to one of the last meetings, but maybe because it's canceled and it's not good weather right now.
Right.
I
Cause Gaylord's a mess
don't
right
think we
now.
need to do anything on it.
No.
But
So
it
just,
would probably be a good idea to just check our minutes and make sure we didn't agree to anything for multiple years, you know?
we
I
did,
know that we were very cautious about what we agreed to.
we did it on a one try
Yeah.
to see how it worked. Since he didn't come back and put them back up, I have no.
Then you guys did you question when he came to your meeting why he didn't come back and take him down like you said he was?
not really, because it's not under our jurisdiction. So we just decided not to get into that because it wasn't really our place to tell him what he could or couldn't do. We felt like that was yours,
Yeah, because
the
that.
women's club.
Yeah, it's women's club, it's not.
Yeah, but so for parks, for us, the only thing we could do was rent him the space, but the extracurricular stuff is
Right.
not ours. So
And
we
I
just
kinda
didn't even
feel
go
like-
into it.
I kind of feel like having the banners, like the winter banners up and then the summer banners is probably good. And like you said, there's wear and tear, and there's gonna be wear and tear on the poles every time.
We've had to
somebody's
put
like-
grommets in them because they're coming up. So every
Right.
time you move them, they tend to, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
it's like anything else. And like I said, Doug doesn't have the time in July to put them back in.
Right.
He just doesn't.
Okay. Well, I think we're all on the same page with
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, on to old business, streetscape. This is really old business.
We have one pole left, it was supposed to be out 2 weeks ago, and we had that big heavy wind, consumers canceled.
Okay.
Because they had power outages every place, which I can understand.
Right.
We're supposed to get it out next week, we don't have a date.
Which pole is it?
That's the one by North Country and feeds the therapy.
Okay.
That's the only one that's left. They had the blanket down, Doug was all set to go, the inspector was all scheduled and everything. They got their schedule all set for the therapy, and then we had to cancel, so.
So. it's
Now they're
springtime.
gonna try to do it in the evening,
You said they're gonna try to do it in the next week?
Now,
next week.
so you know Doug.
So that'll be the last pole, and then all we have is the concrete work in the spring.
To fix. And then hanging the signs up. Probably finding signs.
The
Or
way,
part of the
that,
street
yeah,
landscape, but
that's part of, you know,
Then I'll be part of it.
yeah, I mean, do that.
And you know that Doug is having surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know if you needed
Yeah.
minutes underground or.
No, we're all set.
Perfect.
We got everything figured out. If I have to go down with the shovel, because usually I have
I
to,
think the
we
ground's
have,
probably frozen.
well, no, because they put a heat blanket down, and when they put the
Oh.
vaults in, there's dirt extra.
Oh.
So we have to haul the dirt out, because you can't leave it there, because then when they come to blow snow, it's gonna hit the auger, and the auger gets beat up bad enough as it is.
No, I'll get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just rebuilt that snow blower here a year ago, I think, and Doug said it's
Yeah.
wearing out again.
Mhm.
Is it right out here?
No,
There's
this
a
is the
snowblower,
one on
like,
the
right
tractor.
outside the front door.
This is the one that's on
Oh,
the
the truck.
tractor.
Okay.
Remember,
Oh,
a
yeah.
year ago, we paid
Yeah.
to have it rebuilt. I think maybe this year, might be 2 years, but it's not been too long.
Okay, so
So and that's all I have on.
possibly like streetscape might be off of our agenda at some point in the next
Yep.
couple months.
Next, spring, because
Let's get the
now,
signs up and
um,
the cement work.
the guy that's doing the concrete work says he wants to do it even before, he's gonna try to do it even before frost laws are out, because there's only partial truckloads.
Oh.
So as soon as the snow disappears, I'll walk around, and we've got a couple curbs that need to be repaired.
Right.
You know, we've talked about that before. And I'll mark all those, and then he'll come up and take care of everything at once.
And then as far as cleaning the sidewalks, is that gonna happen in the spring?
That's Tyler's supposed to be washing.
And did they
the sidewalk.
move that material?
Yeah, that's up at
Isn't the
Cooperation Park too, because it couldn't be frozen, so it's in the heat.
Okay, because it says sealant will be moved and stored in the
Yeah.
garage when Doug returns, but we do know that it got moved.
Yes,
and
it
it's
does.
stored in the garage?
It did.
I think we need to have a little more in-depth discussion about that too. I've talked to a couple guys that say, No, you don't need to do that crazy cleaning routine. Just get out there with a couple guys in power washers and do it. And roll it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's, I thought, what he was doing.
Well, let's put
It
that on
was,
for
I mean,
next
a
month.
couple guys, Bert Tomzak in particular, who was
Yeah.
kind of the lead
He
on the
was,
whole
yeah,
project.
he did the whole thing.
Said, no, get out there with some volunteers and spread that stuff on and call it good.
Oh.
I'm not saying that's
But you'd save us a
gospel,
lot of
but
money.
yeah,
It does
for
save
sure.
a lot.
a lot. Like to the point where I don't know that we could do that on a regular
We
schedule.
can't.
So
We
if
can't
we
do it
can,
on like every other year, like they.
and I'm not saying it's volunteers, but I mean, if we could hire somebody to do it, that's maybe not
The
as.
problem with that is the insurance stuff and things like that,
I have a power washer.
right? So,
Cruise
we
along.
we can do volunteers. Volunteers is easier to hire than hiring somebody.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna put sealant on the agenda for next month, just so that we can have a discussion about it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, anything else on the streetscape?
That's it.
Pathway expansion.
It's
That's
kind
what
of
I
nice
know.
now. Like,
I know, I
2
like
minutes.
it. So we have our pathway expansion.
Okay, pathway expansion. I think we need to think about, well, I know we need to do a survey for the pathway down south of the school.
Who are we
and-
serving?
We'll have to have a RFP, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll
Oh,
have to do an
okay.
RFP
Okay,
for the survey to get a bid on, so we can get a bids on that, see what it's gonna cost. Because that will come out of
it's a
our
request
RFP.
for proposal.
There is, the school is working on the grant for the safe routes to school.
Okay,
Um,
have you been
Trudy-
talking to Liz or Beth
Yes,
about it? Okay.
yes, we have talked about it.
Okay,
Then Trudy talked to the DNR.
okay.
They have grants available, and they said they were very interested in that, so
Awesome.
as soon as we can get the survey done, so we know what we're doing, because we do have the 66 feet, which gives us enough room to do that.
On the
We
east or
can't
west
do it like we did down here where we're so far off the road, it's gonna be next to the road,
side? Like a sidewalk.
like a sidewalk, yeah.
And on the west side, east side?
It's we want it on the east side, because all the kids that
And
live down that, well,
neighborhoods.
90% of the kids that live down that area are on the east side.
The Trail Forum meeting I went to where the DNR was there, Little Traverse Conservancy had a representative there, very excited, as well as the bike group over there, also very excited. So those are two groups to reach out to.
Yeah, and we may be able to get more help if we go down to the parking area for the trail.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
Oh, how far?
That's about 400 feet beyond the township line.
Can we go?
So
the
we
other
would,
township
we
line?
wouldn't be able to fund it we wouldn't be able to do that funding from the DDA. But if the DNR said, hey, we want to expand it to there,
That would be a walking path.
it would be a
so-
walking and biking path.
But non-motorized.
Right.
So, but they would be willing to do that?
Well, I don't know, that's just something I had a thought.
Who did you talk to? I don't know who's who with the DNR anymore.
Oh, I can't think of his name, I didn't bring those notes, he's a young man, very familiar with.
Was it the guy at the meeting, the trade
Yes,
meeting?
the meeting, yeah, the Trail
Okay.
Forum meeting, very.
Because that was his first meeting. There's usually, and I can't remember the other guy's name who usually goes
He
there.
was very excited, though,
Yeah.
he seemed very receptive, Becca Nelson's with the bike group over there.
Yep.
And then, and I've reached out to both of them since then, and they want to be kept in the loop on that.
One thing that I think that there's only two of us that were on the board at that time, when we were doing the pathway. We did have quite a bit of headaches, just so everybody knows, getting the trail, the safe routes to school, the DNR, and we had another, oh, you were on
I
that too.
was
Yeah,
there,
so
yeah.
there was three of us that were on the board then. Getting everybody to agree to everything.
Okay,
This one said, yeah, we'll do it this way, and then it said, oh, no, we can't do it that way. So you had to go back and redo it.
sure.
But the only place we're gonna have to cross would be at
And
Corporation.
Corporation Park, and
So we won't have to worry about like crossing a river.
we don't have the river, we don't have
We don't have to worry about going from Big Bear to the,
going across to the
State
state park.
'cause that was the biggest thing, was putting the island in there with the
The island was,
haven or whatever they
and,
call
but
it.
down there, because the road's narrower, we
Right.
won't have that, and we don't have the
So this
concentration
should
of
be
traffic.
easier.
It should, that part of it, it should be a lot cheaper and it should be a lot easier. The only thing that we have is we have some businesses down there,
For Lake Marina,
Bear Lake Marina, the,
at Gary's.
well, Pat and Gary's wouldn't be a problem. You have Books, and she fought it the last time. But
She's gonna-
because we were supposed to be
Is it those
going,
little cottages?
no, that's, next to Pat and Gary's too. Just this,
Where they
to the
do
north.
distribution.
Oh.
Yeah. But she fought it the
Similar.
last time because it took up some of her parking lot.
And she's got a different
She's
right
got-
of way there.
Well, she bought her right of way
Yeah.
from the state when it changed from MDOT to township, county road. So that's why I said we have to stay in the 66 foot. Especially when you start looking at how far back we are from the highway down here. If you went to that far back drop off, you're going to take off Vivio's parking big time. Pat and Gary's, Michael's, Bird Lake Marina, all of them.
Yeah.
That's why we have to, it's gonna be a different situation. Now, they may require, and I don't know this, they may require curbing because we're putting sidewalks next to the road. So we may have to pay for curbing too.
Where, do you have a feeling at all for where that falls? So like, I'm just thinking about Vivio's, they just redid that curb in front within the last few years.
If you look at, Pat and Gary's too, the sign back,
Mhm.
the sign is about on the edge of the road. I walk my 3 foot steps. And the other thing is, you gotta remember too, is sometimes the road's not where, the center of the road is not where it's supposed to be.
Sure.
So that affects things, that's why you have to have a survey.
Sure.
Now, we did have a survey done when we proposed, but we had the 120 foot right of way then.
Do we still have that survey?
We can't find it. That's the one we were looking for.
Did we look downstairs?
Yes, Sue looked. I didn't, but I don't think
I
you
can't
want me to look at
imagine
it.
I mean, that was- If I had it, it would have been at the chamber, because I was at the chamber back then. So, and I think they.
The thing is, when we dropped that south extension because of the fighting over it,
Chamber?
It's gotta be gone.
There's nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, because I had like a big DDA book that I just had there.
Yeah.
I can't even find a picture of, we used to have those short, small pieces.
Oh, yeah.
I can't find that. When we went to the school, remember we had the public meeting down there about the pathway,
Couple of them.
and there's nothing. And we didn't leave on real good talking terms with Gordy Frazier, so I can't just call them and say, could you send us a copy of that? Because they may have it, but,
What's the issue with them?
well, it wasn't because of the pathway, it was because of the sewers. But they had problems. The township didn't leave them. DDA was on good terms, but the township was not on good terms.
And I don't know if it would be at all helpful or even a good idea, like, I had I had suggested a long time ago, like going across to the Crossing the Woods too. But if we're doing this project, we should have them come to the table too and say, well, we're doing this. I mean,
No,
it's
it's
gonna be 500 yards to get to their parking lot, but if we
Yeah.
tie it into
It's
downtown.
it's not a bad idea, really.
Were you thinking of doing it on the north side of 168? There, at that
To the Crossing the Woods? No, right from where the DNR, or, yeah, the corner where the DNR
Yeah,
is.
the north side.
The north side.
Because that's where the pathway ends right now. I mean, we could just cross over
And then-
68 where groups there and
Yep.
have a sidewalk going to the Crossing the Woods, and then it's a safe way that, you know, it's easier.
It's
access
another,
to
it's
get
another way to
a
get
bike
there,
ride.
for people to walk or bike way.
Because that corner is not safe for pedestrians or
Well,
bicycles.
It's got signs up, but there's no sidewalk on the other
Right.
side.
Yeah, that's the only problem, the sidewalk. But, yeah.
It's just something, like I said, the RFP is our next step.
How much do we think a survey would cost? Do we, I mean, do you?
I have no idea.
Ballpark?
I have no idea. I wouldn't think it'd be that much, but I have no idea.
You're just talking about on paper,
Yeah, just do it. They'll
not a
have,
physical.
I mean, yeah, they may have to do a physical, I don't know. I would think that just
Who did it last time, do you know?
Cordy Frazier,
Oh, they did it in.
yeah, they did the survey, the whole work.
So can we approve getting the RFP now? Do
We
you wanna
need
wait
to have,
until
we
next-
need to have the wording for it. That's what I'm saying is do we want to just say down to Cooperation Park at this point? That gets it started, then we can always expand it to the
The trail
and to
and
the
the
trailhead, if they're interested in doing that. But we need to get something started so we can have it.
I would suggest that we put a bid out there to Cooperation Park, like, get that rolling right
And
now.
get an RFP for
And
that.
then,
Could you word that out?
Oh,
Word that out.
Well,
sure.
Because your
You
words
know,
are really
I mean,
coming tonight.
I mean, Sue would probably know how to
we
do
can-
it.
yeah, we can-
But I'm not the person to do that.
he doesn't let him word it out.
You could gesture it out.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk, but you gotta have a certain
Right.
wording on this
So you-
RFP, so you know what you're,
You want it to go to
From
Cooperation Park, you
To
don't
the-
want it
to the
go like
DNR corner.
phase one, phase two.
yeah, let's just say,
Just one
just,
bite at a time.
yeah, just one bite. And then if we do get interest from the DNR, and we can always, Crossing Woods, we can always add those to it.
Sounds good. Do we want to reach out to Gordon Fraser and simply make a call?
It certainly wouldn't
It
hurt.
wouldn't
But
hurt.
that's how I feel, they can, all they can do is say no.
You can maybe talk to the secretary that has no idea that there were any bad feelings in the past.
And
You
it's
should
not
say, I
gonna,
had no idea.
actually, it's not gonna be very helpful because we don't have that wide right of way like they thought we did.
But it'll still give us an
It'll give you
idea.
It'd give us-
something.
Yeah,
I can call, I mean, all they can do is say no.
Is this survey,
Excuse me, approximately how long ago? Guess?
20,
I'm gonna say 15 to
20
20
years.
years ago.
That's fine.
I'd say
I
15.
know you could go on, I can tell you, you could go on, the paper and get, where we did the dedication, because we had a dedication party. I saw that picture on
Oh,
Facebook there just a while back.
Was
Because
Cindy
it was,
Cindy Lou Pouquet?
yeah, Cindy and I were there.
Okay.
And all the guys that did the work.
Okay.
So that's probably about 10 years before that.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, you gotta start there and then go back.
Yeah.
It was a long time getting it done.
Sure,
The
It-
shovel in the ground took a long time.
sure.
Nothing happens fast. How long did it take for the sewers? Like 53 years or 63? I mean, it was like a hot
70,
minute.
74
It
was the
a
first
long
time.
Take to get the poles out of the ground.
So
I know.
that's all I have on that.
So
We
do
probably,
we
we
need
need
a
a,
motion?
well, I'll make a motion that we apply for an RFP for surveying for safe routes to school from the corner of Vivio's down to Cooperation Park.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Well, I guess just before,
Discussion?
so what, this is a requirement of the Safe Routes grant application, is that?
You have to have a survey of where you're going to put it.
And so then, are we looking at this as just a box that needs to be checked on that application? Or are we trying to glean any information from this?
Well,
Meaning, would we possibly look at it and go, oh geez, that makes this guy lose 6 spots and this guy and whatever, for whatever reason, it doesn't make
Sure.
sense.
and it may not work. We may not be able to do it. I don't, but you have to have the survey to know what you want. where you want.
So at the end of the day, we as DDA will have to pay for that survey out of pocket before
Yes.
we
Yes.
have any answers at all.
Yes,
Right.
Okay.
And
it's
then
the next step. If we're to-
usually you can
you know,
use
it's-
the grant funds to reimburse.
Okay.
the cost.
I just want to make
If
sure
If
everybody's on the same
it
page.
goes forward, then you can get your money back.
Sure.
But not at this point.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of discussion?
Well, I just have a question.
No.
What's the process? Do we send this RFP to individual surveyors, engineers, whatever? Or do we just publish it on the website and hope people see it?
We publish it on the website. If it were and I'll have to look, if it was, we were building
Mhm.
something, we would put it out on Builders Exchange, which goes out to anyone who, I think, any contractor who, or they go there to look for RFPs. That's what we did recently with the police department, with their RFP for the
Okay.
building grant. With regard to something like this, I can check with, I'll check with Aaron Nordman. He's doing an RFP for installation of the screen at the wastewater treatment plant to see if there's where we could publish this RFP to get it
Right, so
broadly.
it gets up.
And who's Aaron?
Aaron Nordman from Performance Engineering.
Okay. And I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at, is I think and maybe there are requirements, maybe there's a certification that a surveyor needs to have. But a local surveyor, I think, would probably be a lot less expensive than an engineering firm.
Well, and
So if we
again,
could get it in front of these local,
And so we'll put it on our website, we can put it out there on social media. We can tell people it's out there.
Okay,
If
cool.
they tune into this, as well, if to just broadcast it out there, because I don't know from a surveyor's perspective what they're looking at.
Right.
And maybe, Brian Fulford would be a good point of contact.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
You
gonna
might
say
be able
like
to do it, I
Ranger
don't
or
know.
Fulford.
Yeah,
Like they'd at
right,
least
right.
be good places to start to
That's
talk
what I
to,
would
and
think,
if
yeah.
they could do it, perfect.
Yeah,
Well, you've got two of them up in Sheboygan too.
There's
You know,
Ranger
Right.
and
So,
Well, there's what's going on, like Porter,
Porter.
who's always been really reasonable.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I guess that's my point, is I would like to check with that type of.
And we're just have an RFP to get a bid on how much it's gonna cost us to do it. We can say no to any of them.
You can,
Sure.
you can throw it back out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so when we get it typed up, get it put together with the particulars, we'll run it by you. I don't want it to drag out.
Right, that's why I was thinking, rather than waiting until next month, like I think February is a good time to put something out there, because
So,
if you wanted to.
So then if we could have it for our next meeting.
and even that might be dragging it out too long. So if we get something typed up,
And get it out there.
and well,
Yeah, because that's only 4 weeks away, really.
Right.
By the time you get it published for 2 weeks, you get, if you say, well, we want to get the bids back by,
If you want it
Wherever
back
our
a
meeting.
week before, or even 2 or 3 days before your
Even-
next meeting.
Yeah, I would say, even say the Friday before.
That's what it's, yeah.
What is
It's
that?
probably the 13th. It's 14th, because our next meeting is on the 17th,
17th,
so it'd probably be the 14th.
14th, if we could have it
Friday
bids
the
by the
14th.
14th.
But that'd be good, and that's, that, we'd still have to apply for the grant, they could take a year, but it would be
could
better
take 3
to,
or 4 years.
it could, but it would be better to like move
That's
this
more
part along,
realistic.
just to see if we could get the wheels going on it.
Right.
Because after, like after that last poll comes out, we're
Do
just
you-
waiting for Steve to put the other stuff in, and we got,
Think after we get through voting on this.
Okay,
I got another.
okay, all in favor? We had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
Do you know when the school board is? I'll try to find out by next
I can
meeting.
find out tomorrow because I have a meeting
Okay,
with Beth
well,
tomorrow
we
morning.
need to, if, it used to be on the same night we had ours. If we start doing this, we'll have to change our meeting date. If we get this going,
Sure,
you know, the
Well, we
school
can have a
needs that
special
to
meeting,
apply
too.
for the grant,
right.
so.
Do you know, what was the cost of the first project?
If I remember right, we were under like $750,000 or $800,000 plus
You
the
built a
bridge.
so,
Oh,
The
yeah.
bridge was the big expense on it.
Okay.
But the,
The bridge over by
we,
Mason's.
that was our share,
That's
our
part of the
share
same
was
project.
like
So
$750,000,
that was big.
$800,000. That was our share of it,
and that was how many years ago?
20 years ago.
Okay.
But you gotta remember, we had a big expense in the bridge, big expense.
That was huge.
And that was because we had three entities involved. That was our in-kind, because we had to match funds.
And we had to cross the highway. So literally the island that's in the middle of the road by Subway down there, that was part of it too. Because they had to put that island, I can't remember what they called it, so that people could, it was Safe Haven or something.
Yeah.
So that people could get to the center of the road and have somewhere safe to wait to
Because-
cross the other.
Because of traffic.
Okay.
Well, and we had to fight for that, remember, they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Well, they wanted us
overpass
for
there.
a bridge there.
They wanted us to put a
Oh,
bridge
wow.
there that went over,
Oh,
yeah,
it was,
that took a hot minute to get through that.
that was a couple of years trying to get through
Yeah.
the bridge, to get it, because we couldn't do it. Number one, you have to keep the bridge clear in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, they wanted
You
chain
guys
link
should have
out
made
in
it
the
tall
middle
Yeah,
of
by
it.
the
it's-
river right there.
It was,
Go through the cold.
it
It was
was, so this.
It was
would-
interesting.
This would be like a straight shot for the most part, down to Cooperation Park, and then just a crosswalk down there. I mean, I don't know if they'd have to.
I don't know, we'd have to probably
reduce the
put some
speed
kind
or
of
anything.
Yeah,
They'd
you
have
wanted
to
to
do a
light
traffic
up or
study
something like
yeah.
that. But, you know, even if we had to put a pole up there with a push button like we have on crossings,
Mhm.
Right,
you know, something like that.
but that's
But
just
that's,
one crossing and,
that will be safe routes to schools. Well, that won't be part, that would be probably be MDOT's decision.
Do you think,
And that's county, so it's not MDOT.
so do you wanna reach out to Matt, Paul, do you think?
At this point, no.
Not yet?
No, I already talked to him
Oh, perfect.
about
All right.
about going down there.
Okay.
He said we had the right of way that we could use, and he was in favor of it.
Okay.
He'd like to see it done, so,
Good deal.
we said this was our next step.
Yeah.
okay, is there any other discussion about that? Okay, public comment. You got anything, Gail? Nothing? Okay, DDA board comment.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion to adjourn. It is now about 7:05. Meeting wasn't on the website until just now. You cannot meet.
What?
Sue texted me 32 minutes ago. The meeting wasn't on the website until just now. You cannot meet. Are we still streaming?
Do you want me to end it?
This is our regular meeting.
Yep.
It was on there because I looked at it